Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam and Kandi 72. So what we got today is a new vehicle for the channel. It's not so much a go fast car or go fast project, it's more like a fun project I could do all the time around in Florida. Now a little background. So right now I build cars I like to go fast, I like to kind of go off-roading with, but when it rains I can't drive any of the fast cars really. Legitly, you can't go have fun with them. My ML is meant to go off-roading, I can take that out and go have fun with it, but when I break it, it's my ride home. So I have an idea, and I bought a new vehicle, and it's right here. This is my new toy. I got this off Facebook Marketplace. I got it relatively cheap. It's going to be my new little go-kart off-road buggy. The plan for this is bigger tires, maybe lift it a little bit, and put a bigger motor in it, or basically a more powerful motor. So come and look the vehicle over. So factory, it has ignition start, it's got an O poop button, or O poop handle there. It's got a CVT transmission, so it's got reverse, neutral, drive. It's got hydraulic brakes, disc all around, 2 up front, 1 in the back. It's got pretty big seats that easily can fit 2 adults. It's a full suspension kart. Shocks work good. You can see, look at these huge shocks. These are pretty effing big. These are almost car related. And then on the back, it's got pretty beefy shocks in the back. Nothing too crazy. Comes in a cool little flag holder. It's got a Honda motor with 14 horsepower. But as you see, it's missing a carb. It's missing pieces. I doubt I'll get this one to run. I'll try, but I already looked up at like the prices on the carbs. So the prices on the carb is roughly $60. I get a Harbor Freight motor for $150. And I have no clue what else is going on with this motor. So I might just go to Harbor Freight, drop one of their Predator motors in this, and just go have fun with it. But it's definitely a rough shape. Brake lights, they're smashed. It's got rust all over. The gas tank is there, but not really. The seats are all ripped, but overall the bones aren't that bad. It has some structural damage right over here, which I will have to weld a new tube on. This tube right over here, it's broken, but I mean it's not flexing, and this floor is still pretty sturdy. There's crap all over the pedal box, destroyed. Master cylinder, most likely destroyed, but the wheels aren't seized up. Everything else, it's a pretty good roller. Okay, so there are some other cool features I noticed. I really do like how that has the O-Poop handle for your passenger. I like how it has a separate bracket for the gas tank, which is not even hooked up. There's a lot of cool things about this little quad thing, and there's some things that are so cool, but I don't think I'm going to be able to reuse them. But we're trying to go over everything that could be broken. One thing I really like is these seats are so big. It's so easy. The Speedo, I doubt the Speedo works anymore, and the ignition, it's got no battery. I might be able to repurpose that, and I don't know if these lights or anything work. So this is a good, like, overall of the car. Like, look at, I'm just so happy with the wishbones. Just to give you an idea of what, like, how beefed up this is from the factory, let me show you another quad, or another little go-kart I got over here in the bushes. This is basically what a standard go-kart would look like. You could just see how small these shocks are, how small the arms are, and how less beefy this is. And if anyone wants this, I got it for sale. I don't know, give me like $50 or something. Maybe some parts will even removed off it for the other go-kart, but right now it's a pretty good frame. This frame is 500 times better than the frame I'm going to be using. It's just not as beefy. I still might keep this. Maybe I'll go do something cool with it, because really all this one needs is a shock, axle, motor. Not too much. No framework on that one. Okay, so one thing I want to do with this kart first is I want to pull the motor out and actually kind of give a good look over it and see if there's anything crazy with it, if anything else is broken, and then pressure wash and clean all this stuff up and to get a good idea of what's going on with the frame of this go-kart. So we're going to start by pulling this motor. Hopefully it ain't that hard. So looking at it, the plan is to pull the whole frame out with the motor, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have to rebuild the frame anyways. So there's a nut right here holding the motor on, which is a 24. And then right over here are brackets that go to the motor, but I'm going to actually rip it off from the frame from this side and this side, which are 13. So we're going to start pulling this off. I'm going to get it loosened and then get my cherry picker and actually rip it down. So we'll see how tight these are if I need to get a bigger gun. Oh shit, that dropped that motor right the F down. So also what I'm just noticing, I dropped that nut out there, and then the chain will come right off. So I'm going to lower it a little bit more, because I got plenty of room with this. And then take that chain off, and then also I got 2 little bolts down here. Let me show you them all. Alright, so these should be a 13 for the frame. Those should be a 13, and that's the 24, which will let me do the chain off. And then I'm going to try to pull the whole motor this way out. We're going to see how it happens. Alright, so it looks all broken, so I got it unbolted. I tried to lift it up. I had the cable for the transmission still attached, so we got that off. I got all the wiring off. I didn't cut any of the wiring harness, so it all unplugged. So now we're going to see actually how heavy this is. I'm going to try to pull it out by hand. Alright, so we're going to see how heavy this is. I'm going to try to do it with one hand. Oh, alright. Maybe the right hand. Alright, still attached to the stupid cable. Cable never came off that bracket, so I'm going to have to do some more removing. Alright, we got the other brackets off, and the motor dropped right down. It's not that heavy. I mean, I can lift it up with one hand. So we're going to take this, go throw it over on the side, and then start assessing this. Alright, so we got the motor all out. We have so much room for activities back there. We got a nice noticeable 40-20 chain. We still got, I might need new pads on this brake, but everything else looks pretty good. So we're going to spray it down with a degreaser, pressure wash all over here, and probably clean up a lot of this stuff. But the minority part of this video is we're going to try to clean it up, get a assess of all the stuff we need to buy. We got the handy dandy pressure washer out. We're going to start blowing stuff away. Now time for the good stuff. Oh yeah, look at that grime. Wow. Alright, we're going to hit it with a little bit of soapy. Now let that sit and pressure wash it off. So we got a lot of this cleaned off. It's looking a lot nicer. So apparently this originally was yellow, and then someone spray painted it, and that's all the paint that's chipping off. So not bad. We got this whole area cleaned up. Also what I did, which I wasn't sure about before, now that we got the motor out, this battery box is like mint. Just a little bit of surface rust on there. And everything else for this whole rear frame is almost perfect. So it's going to be great benchmark area for us to drop our new power plant in. Okay, so doing research, this motor, from what everyone's saying, is basically like a, I think it was a 5.5 horsepower, like 150 cc. Because you can see this is a pretty teeny motor. That's all gearbox. The motor area is from like here forward. So it's a pretty teeny motor. It's really light. Like I can lift it up. But we want to go bigger. So I want to go bigger because I've seen a couple of reviews online like 5.5 horsepower probably isn't enough for an adult. So we're going to step it up a little bit, but I haven't picked a motor out yet. But we'll show you in the next video what motor we got. But we're going to keep cleaning up the car and kind of assess the car out a little bit more, or the little buggy. Okay, so now looking it over, I'm going to show you a couple things that are not safe. This seatbelt, it clicked in. It does not unclick. So I got to fix that. This other side, don't even see the seatbelt. Oh no, there it is. It is cut. So no seatbelt for the passenger, which I guess passengers, it is what it is. And braking system, okay, has no brakes. So it has a master cylinder for the hydraulic brakes. Okay, it looks to be intact. But here are the two plungers that aren't attached because the pedal box ain't. It looks like the majority of the pedal box is good except this bracket right here and then that bracket over there. So I'm going to have to re-weld all this up, fix that up. And then what I want to 100% probably do first, see right here is a handbrake. Okay? So I might just have to adjust that cable because that handbrake goes to this brake right here. So if I get this brake fixed first, then I don't really have to worry about the hydraulic part too much right now. I'm probably going to order new parts. I'm probably going to order a new master because they're about $12. $12 to $20. Order a new one of those, but I want to get the pedals all welded up and all done good. I don't know if these speedos will even ever work. I got to see where it actually gets its signal from. Because if I didn't see anything, it must get a signal from the motor, from the transmission, which that stuff will be gone. But we'll see. So in the course of making this video, I made a few decisions. Definitely going to be going more than like a 150cc motor. 90% sure going to be getting rid of that transmission just because I was looking up parts to make it fit a lot of motors. And it's not that cheap to get it done. So without doing that, I could do a simple like CVT torque converter setup, which will work as a transmission, but I will have no reverse and no neutral anymore. But the torque converter will be automatic neutral until you actually apply load. I just won't have reverse anymore. That's going to suck. But I am going to keep this in case I do save up enough money or I do find a cheaper way to put that tranny back on. Because from what I understand, it's a Polaris transmission on there. So, and I also looked up, the Speedo comes from there too. So if I could figure out how to like maybe make that work, but that would be like for future. Hopefully in the next video, we're going to start mocking up the motor, and I'll show you what motor I picked, because it's going to be a very cool motor. I think it's going to make it go pretty fast. This little buggy factory went, I think they said around 20, 25 miles an hour. That's fine. That was like 5.5 horsepower roughly. We're going to go a little bit bigger than that. So we'll see what happens. But hope you guys like this video. I'm trying something a little bit different just because in Florida, it rains so often that I can't really do so much stuff. But with this buggy, I can actually go have some fun right behind my house where all the mud is and where the swamps are and have a good old time. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe button. Throw a comment down if you kind of like this content. If it's too boring for you, if you want me to just stick to Mercedes, just let me know. But until then, this is going to be a cheap little fun project I can just do in my garage in my downtime.